Sleeping with a friend's man is, that's some nasty work right there, y'all. Hey, Jazz. What is up? Today, Bay and I are gonna go get us some breakfast. It's early in the morning. We gonna go to IHOP, okay? I need to comb out my little wig, chill. I need to wash my hair. My hair is not washed up under here. So yeah, we're gonna go to IHOP this morning. This is your girl, period. I got my little lobster top on. That's what we gonna do. That's how we gonna do it. So we're gonna go to IHOP, get us some breakfast this morning. And then I'll be back. I'm probably gonna go to the gym. It's the weekend. I haven't been to the gym since Thursday. So Friday, Saturday, and then today is Sunday. I was gonna go today and get some steps out the way, which I still might do that. I'm not really sure, but yeah, it's been today is day 3, okay? And I am starting to feel just a little drained. I don't know. Last night we went to the bowling alley. I didn't bowl. Bay bowl. I just sat there and watched Bay bowl because it was late night. Honestly, your girl was over there. I was literally dozing and yawning, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't expecting us to, you know, go out anywhere. So I had already done got ready for bed. You know what I'm saying? I had done shifted my little mindset to bed mode. So I had to like wake myself back up. And yeah, that's how it was. But yeah, I was knocked the hell out, y'all. I was tired. Babe bought me some Don Julio. Yeah, it may be at the Julio in about 4 dreams days. Cause that thing knocked me out, but it was a smooth drink, okay? I didn't feel anything or like I felt tipsy, but I'm saying like I didn't wake up with a headache. You know what I'm saying? So, and it didn't have me feeling crazy. Like it literally knocked me the hell out, okay? So I don't know what Bae could have done while I was asleep. I don't know. I can't recall. But anywho, he finna take me out to breakfast. Okay, that's how we do over here. So I'm gonna see y'all when we get over there. So we are done. I'm done. Yeah, that's disgusting. Y'all look. They trying to fix it now. The manager and all that over there. They talking about we just gonna move you to another table. No, you're gonna refund me my money. I'm not paying for this. Yes.
Just let me know when you'll get ready to cash out. You'll charge me.
You know, our server is a little annoying.
Weird.
Yeah, she come out like every 2 seconds. And she has like the nicest attitude. It's an attitude, but it's a nice attitude. Where, yeah, so, okay. You know, that type of stuff. Sure, no problem. Sure. Very weird. I'm only excited because when we leave out of here, I'm going across the street to Marshall. This the people they moving, y'all. They moving them. Yeah, they sitting behind us. Which this ain't no better. With that leaking like that, that's crazy. I would have gave them people a gift card and been like, you know, y'all gonna come back or something. But that was crazy. It gushed down on top of their table, y'all. It's still leaking. And I moved from over there. I was like, hello. So yeah, what's our total? Only $30. I don't eat much. I just eat a little small stack of pancakes. That's it. I don't eat no egg, no meat, none of that stuff. Here, I'm getting a little bump right here. I just eat a little small stack of pancakes. I gotta wash the pillowcases because I laid on them, I think, with my hair out, and I think that stuff is like starting to get on my face. So anywho, what is up? And shout out to each and every one of you guys. I am getting ready to go live. All right, as y'all can see, barely got my clothes on. So I'm getting ready to go live. It is actually a Sunday. I haven't been live on a Sunday in so long. Okay, so I already know it's probably gonna be on and popping. I don't know, but I already put on my primer and my shit. I don't think I got no more foundation. I've been waiting. I don't know why I haven't went and bought some more. But I put on my primer and I put on my the one for the moisture. Okay, I'm gonna have on a hat, so I don't really got to go like all cray. All right, up in here. But yeah, so I'm gonna bring you guys a story time while I do my makeup. Okay. And let me see, hold up, y'all. Let me focus on getting this right on together, because there's a method, honey. If you don't get it right, Lord Jesus. Okay, you got to get it right. Get it right, get it right, get it tight. And I wanted to bring you guys a story time, but like I said, I had wrote down a whole list, y'all, of stuff that I wanted to talk about during story times with y'all. But I don't know. I lost a list. I think I stored it in my other phone. I think that's what happened. I gotta order some more of this. So let me toss that. Let me put on the moisturizer one. This is the tinted moisturizer. And y'all, I got y'all like plugged all the way low. Okay, I gotta remember that I have y'all back here. So I'm gonna do an update on a story time that I did with y'all. Okay, where I talked to y'all about me and the rapper Trick Daddy. T-double-D, represent the South Side. And I told y'all that when he went to the fight, that was the last time I spoke with him, or that was the last, it really technically it was the last time I physically talked to him. It was, but we did have another somewhat interaction, and I don't think I told y'all this part 2, okay, to that. All right, so part 2 to the Trick Daddy. Okay, y'all see why he got that name. Now y'all see why he got that name. Okay, so anywho, fast forward to 20, I feel like I told y'all this already. I do. I feel like I did this update, but if I did, I won't use this footage, or this may be a better footage to use. I'll make a decision. So fast forward to 2015. Okay, I get a call from a mutual friend, and well, not a call, yeah, a call from a mutual friend. She reached out to me. She DM'd me on IG, and she was like, yo, Trick wanna holler at you. So I guess because they know I'm married, you know, maybe that's why he reached out through her instead of reaching out to me directly. I don't know, you know what I'm saying, why he did it that way. But anywho, so I'm like, okay, what's up? So she said, well, she said, is it okay if I give him your number? So I was like, well, what is it that he want? That's what I asked her. I said, well, what is it that he want? So she was like, well, let me find out, because he didn't tell me like the details why, like everything. He just know I know you, and he asked me for your number. So she was like, okay. So she reached back out to me, and she was like, he want to talk to you about Love and Hip Hop Miami. He want to know if you want to do the show with him. So I'm like, at first I thought about it, I'm like, bitch, reality TV, like the fuck, you know. But then I was, you know, back then I was still heavy into doing my music, so I'm like, yeah, it'll probably be great for my, you know, for my music. Me, I'm more of a writer of music than I am a performer or singer. I feel like I'm more of a writer of music. As far as performing and all of that, it takes a lot. It's a lot, y'all. You think you could just get up and belt out a song? Even when you think you are the best singer, there's techniques, okay, to delivering music that if it don't come naturally, and that's the thing about it, if it don't come naturally, I just feel like it's not a gift. You know what I'm saying? So, with me, I learned a lot about singing as I was getting vocal lessons and stuff like that. And some things I have naturally, I do. But the technique, you got to learn that technique. I'm like, oh. Some things I have naturally, like I'm a singer from up here. Like I sing in the high. I'm like a very high pitched girl when it comes to me singing. So when it comes to me thinking about all of those techniques and stuff, oh, Chad, be a lot. I'd be like, But anywho, so she reaches out to him and she's like, yeah, she want to know what's up. Like, what is it that you want? So he told her that he wanted me to do Love and Hip Hop Miami. He's like, yeah, so I want to know if she want to be on the show. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to bring her on to, and he didn't want me on there, like, from my knowledge, he wasn't looking for me to be like a one-time, you know what I'm saying, guest appearance. He wanted to know if I would be interested in being a full-on, you know, person in the show, like a full-on, but I don't know what, you know what I'm saying, what role he wanted me to play. That was my thing. Like, okay, you want me to be in the show, just who I am, but, you know, I don't think they wanted my, you know, like my husband. I don't think they wanted me to be like a married woman. Now, I have a family who is very close to Trick, right? They don't know about the history we had, to my knowledge, but very close to Trick. And I was like, yeah, like, okay, Trick reached out and he wanted, you know, me to do the show with him. You know, I'm like, y'all call him, you know, and y'all, like, you know, put in a word for me or whatever. Which, why did I do that? I don't know. Because after that, he didn't want me on the show anymore. So I don't know what was said, you know what I'm saying, by that family member. But what I do know, or what I heard, was from other family members that this particular family member, because remember, they were close with Trick because they did music too, right? And this particular family member wanted to be on the show. Like, they wanted to be on the show, like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if they kind of like sabotage me. I don't know. Maybe they spoke up for me and said something really good, which made him change his mind. I don't know. But then, you know, after that, I never heard from him again. He did put up a little post, you know, on his Facebook page where he was like, you know, I would call her, but nah, this all might get to her head. That's what he put up on his Facebook page after this situation. So I don't know if he was talking about me, you know, or what it was. But sometimes, you know, people can be, like I said, people could be intimidated by you, you know, and people can be threatened by you, where people can become threatened and feel like, you know, you will do better than them or you'll get bigger than them. Like, people don't want to help you get bigger than them. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about the situation. You know, maybe, you know, she would have got out there and everybody would have loved her. And next thing you know, kind of like how Cardi B did. You know what I'm saying? Cardi B got on Love and Hip Hop and it took her to a whole other level. You know what I'm saying? Where she's now bigger than the people who got her on the show. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't handle that. And one thing about Miami people, they don't, this is everybody, but I don't know everybody. I'm just going to tell you what I heard about Miami people and what I've witnessed. They don't want you to get bigger than them. Okay? They don't want you to get bigger than them. In Trick words, okay? Oh, absolutely, positively not. You will not get better than them, do better than them, all of that stuff. Like, a lot of people from Miami had the opportunity to put people on, but they want to control you and they want you to stay, you know, underneath them to where you don't do bigger than them. Right? So, could have been one of those situations. Y'all see I'm wearing my little crab and stuff today, so I wanted to keep this red going. I'll pull my hat down, so, you know. But yeah, people don't want you to get bigger than them, and that's the only thing I picked up from that. Like, you know, that's why he said it might get to her head. I would call her, and I'm like, coincidentally it lined up with the timing of what was all going on. So that's why I say, you know, he didn't reach out to me specifically, but with him saying what he said after all of this took place, like right after, as this was all taking place, I can only assume that he was addressing the situation, you know what I'm saying, online. So, but he never did reach out, but he did, like, you know, he was following me on Facebook and, you know, getting tabs, and we did, like, you know, we've linked up, but like I say, when I dealt with him, I didn't deal with him. When we connected, put it that way, you know, he was heavily on, allegedly, he was heavily on drugs, okay? And whatever he smoked in my bathroom, I don't know what it was. I could only assume, but to me, it smelled like crack. I know what crack smelled like because years ago, there was this couple that lived across from a place I was living in when I was living with a near an old friend. And there was this couple, and they used to smoke crack at night, honey. And I said, what is that smell? I told my friend, I said, every night there's this damn smell. And that's when she told me, she was like, girl, that's crack. She went out there, she said, they out there smoking crack. So it was a couple. So that's how I know what crack smelled like, okay? That's how I know what crack smelled like. Now, I'm not saying he was smoking crack. But what I am saying is what he was smoking, because he was clearly doing something in my bathroom, it did smell a little funny. You know, they do have other things that they call, I think, boom and all that stuff they used to call it, where they would lace the weed with stuff. So maybe he, you know, had laced it with something. And to me, whatever he laced it with, it made it smell like crack. So my bathroom was smelling like crack, you know? And that was my kids' bathroom. That was my guest bathroom, the bathroom that my kids used, because they had their own bathroom. I had my own bathroom. So, of course, when he left, I had to clean the hell out my bathroom. I had to go in there and scrub a dub. So I was mad at that too. That's why I kept trying to rush him, because I wanted to make sure my kids' bathroom was clean, you know, before they got out of school. I don't know if they was home. That could have been a weekend. They probably was with their grandma. You know, I don't know where they was, but I know that was their bathroom that he used. You know, because that was my guest bathroom. So I didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like that. I ain't gonna lie. I was a little perturbed with that, but it is what it is. Overall, he's a great guy. He could be very rude and disrespectful. I feel like he's carrying a lot of like trauma. You know what I'm saying? Maybe from when he lost his brother, because I do know his older brother did pass. That's the one who Trina was dating, allegedly, I guess. And his brother did pass. So maybe, you know, the passing of his brother created a lot of trauma with him. And he just, you know, but he made money off that trauma. You know what I'm saying? He always, to me, made some good music, because I was able to relate to what he was talking about. Not personally, like with the places that he talk about, like he talk about Care City, Opalock and all that, but Liberty City and 15th and all that, I didn't experience that. You know, I went to school over there, but I didn't live over there. So I didn't experience the hood or the projects or the ghetto, you know what I'm saying, like that. But I went to school over there, so that was the closest I got to it. But I never was on 15th. I used to hear them talk about going on 15th. What? That was like a block party every night, you know what I'm saying? That's how it was. It was like a block party every night. And then they had the pack gym and all that. Like, I heard about that stuff, but I didn't go. My mom was like, I wish you would. Okay? I didn't go. So, yeah. I'm putting on my earrings and stuff, getting it out the way. But yeah, so that was like the second part of the story with Trick. I had forgot to tell y'all, because I think I had told y'all that, you know, it cut off when the last time so yeah, I had forgot to follow up with y'all on that, which I think I did, but like I say, I'll just keep whichever footage gives a better outcome of what it was that actually happened. So yeah, I didn't want to you know, I didn't want to take it serious, you know what I'm saying, because I didn't want nobody, my kid's father, you know what I'm saying, was somebody who was on drugs. So I don't like a guy who does any type of drug. If you smoke weed, if you smoke cigarettes, I don't like a guy who has any type of substance use, not just abuse, because some people say, well, I don't abuse it, but if you use it, honey, that means you feel like you need it for a reason, which then, you know, can list like an energy of lack, right? Even guys who drink, you know what I'm saying, if it's a habit, like, I don't know, y'all. I'm just very sensitive, because I guess what I went through with my kid's father, you know what I'm saying, that kind of like affected me. And it showed me something about life. And, you know, my boys, they smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? Even my own kids smoke it. As much as I told them, you know, stay away. They grown. They do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, they feel like they need it. Okay? They smoked weed years ago. Before we met, they smoked weed. And I think when I got with Bae was smoking cigarettes. I didn't even know that for a while, y'all. Bae was smoking cigarettes and weed. And when I got with Bae cut that shit out. Bae was like, when I told him like how I feel, I say, look, I tell you what, cause I was crazy about Bae, ain't gonna lie. I was like, if you gonna smoke it, I'm gonna smoke it. So we both gonna be some weed smokers and cigarette smokers. And at first, I smoked a couple of Black and Milds with him, but he was like, you know what, I'm like, look, we in this together. He said, He put that cigarette down, and Bae ain't pick up a cigarette. That was over 20 years ago. They haven't had a cigarette, weed, none of that. And we're not, as you can see, we're not heavy drinkers. I used to be a heavy drinker. Back in the day, I used to be a heavy drinker. I was dealing with a lot of anxiety and stuff like that. But I had to face my anxiety. You know what I'm saying? I had to face that. Let me put on my lip. Whatchamacallit? I had to face that. So yeah. Alright, y'all. This is my look for today. I'm gonna go ahead, go live. Get this thing right on together. I didn't put on no lashes. I just did my lashes. But at the end of the day, y'all, I do feel like sometimes if I would have ever dated Trick Daddy, because back then he was my type. Oh, let me show y'all which one of him was that was my type. Okay. He looked just like my baby daddy. Ain't gonna lie. Trick Daddy and my baby daddy, that version of him, Trick Daddy, looked just like my baby daddy. My boy's dad. He did. That's what he gave off. He gave off my boy's dad. Trick was fine back then. What? Oh my God. Trick was, I used to love me a little sexy chocolate little ooch. But I needed one who didn't have an addiction. And then I found Bae. I found Bae. Okay, Bae's my type. That's my type. That's my type. What? My hubby, that's my type. I was able to find my type. I didn't have to settle, be like, oh, he ain't all that, but he got a little money. No. I was able to find my type, get everything I want like I always do. Thank you to the good Lord. Okay, let me do up under my eyes real quick, y'all. But, yeah. So that's the part 2 to my little situation with Trick Daddy. I'm gonna tell y'all, like I say, about other encounters that I had. I hope y'all enjoying these little. I hope you guys are enjoying these, y'all, because I do. I have a good time telling y'all about it. So yeah. I gotta find that list because I have the list. I just don't know where the hell I put that damn list. I really don't. I don't know where I put that list, y'all. But I know I got it, and I stored it in one of my phones or either on my iPad. I don't know. I have to see where it is that I stored it because I don't know. That's the thing about it. But I wrote down so many stories, y'all. Oh, child, y'all be getting a tea on me, honey. I wrote down so many stories. Now, one thing you won't get is stories about me sleeping with my friend man and stuff. Oh no, I thank good Lord I've never been that type of person, honey. I am not the type of person. If you sleep with a guy, I don't care if you go out on a date with a guy, I don't want him. He is off limits. Okay, I don't want him. Because one thing I know about me is when I get with a dude, he's mine. You know what I'm saying? I know that if I get with him in any way, shape, or form, he's going to want to be with me because I'm confident in the type of woman I am. I'm very confident in the type of, I know he's going to want to be with me, right? So if ever he wanted to be with a friend of mine, I can't get with a dude that, he's going to want me. You know what I'm saying? And I take relationships serious, you know what I'm saying? So I can't imagine like sleeping with a friend's man. Sleeping with a friend's man is, that's some nasty work right there, y'all. That's some nasty. Now remember I told y'all I had friends who did that to me, right? So I know what it feels like. I've had guys who wanted to approach me or tried to approach me, but if ever I felt like they were around or with an old friend of mine, there's no way, you know what I'm saying, I would date them. That's just weird. Hold up, y'all, I'm trying to close this door. That's just weird, you know. It's just very weird. And if there was a friend or a chick who, you know, you go after your friend's man, like, I don't know, y'all. I can't say I agree with that. That's just nasty. If y'all want to know the palettes I use, it was this one by Too Faced. And also this is where the red came from, the Secret Santa palette. It don't have the name of them. Let me see if I can show y'all. See it? That's the red right there that I use. It don't have the name of the red because I'm thinking if this is an old palette, they might still have this. I think I got that free, if I'm not mistaken. I think I got these free when I made that big birthday purchase, you guys, that year. But yeah, so this is my look for today. But moving back into that conversation, y'all. Ooch. That's some nasty work, honey. And I don't care to have a woman around me who's like that. Like, you got to have some type of morals about yourself. You know what I'm saying? And even though I was young, because these stories I'm giving y'all, I was 18, 19, 20. Because I met Bay. I was 21 when I met Bay. And I've been with him ever since. You know what I'm saying? And your girl is 50s clip. Okay? So it's been like a minute, right? And I just, back then, I couldn't see myself like being with a guy who was with a friend, if he was with a family member. I know people who, remember that movie, I can't even think of that damn movie, where the cousin was sleeping with everybody hugging and stuff like that. Yes, the movie back in the day. I can't imagine that. That is just so gross. And this situation hit home. Like, I know of family members who have done this. You know, I know of daughters who have slept with their mother's husbands and daughters who have slept with their mother's boyfriend and things of that nature. Y'all, it's a little bug. Oh, God. Yeah, it's a little bug in here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, it's a little cray. That's just very weird to me. I don't want nobody else's man. Y'all call me selfish. I want my own man, okay? Let me open this up. Show just a little bit of cleavage today. Nah, this shirt just gets a little tight, so when I, you know what I'm saying? See, it don't show nothing. I just did that for y'all.